Welcome, everybody. My name is Josh Hanosh. I'm with 329, and today we are going to talk about how nonprofit marketing is the same as B2B marketing. Now, some people might think that that's not the case, and I'm actually going to argue the opposite today. And while we focus primarily on B2B marketing, we do help a lot of nonprofit clients for a couple of reasons. One, we love giving back to the community. We feel like if we are not helping our immediate community, which is Sacramento, California, and Jacksonville, Florida, then we're not doing our job as community members and as business leaders. So we take on nonprofit clients, both that pay us and that we do pro bono. I personally have co-founded 2 nonprofits, and I sit on the board of a couple other nonprofits. And they are companies. A lot of people don't realize that just because a nonprofit is a nonprofit, that they're not a company. They are a nonprofit company. They file very similar paperwork to companies that file as a S Corp or a C Corp. And while their goal is not to make profit for their shareholders, their goal is to create a sustainable program and budget to fund what's important to them and their mission, and to help the people or causes that they serve. So with me having been a fast pitch coach to help some nonprofits with their pitches, and again, starting 2 nonprofits, I have seen the similarities between B2B marketing and nonprofits. And I think nonprofits have a lot to learn from companies who market to other companies. And we're going to dive into that today. So I'm going to share the deck that I prepared. So is nonprofit marketing B2B marketing? And why is this question important? So first, I just want to say that I think you'll be surprised at the crossover. What does good B2B marketing look like? And I made the list right there. Strong brand presence, social proof, a clear message on how the target client will benefit from working with you, timely client success management, and expansive partner network. So basically, I just made a list of what do I think at a high level is good B2B marketing. And I feel like each of these bullet points are things that a nonprofit should keep in mind when marketing themselves. So let's dive into the first bullet point. Strong brand presence. That's clear brand messaging. I can't tell you how many nonprofits I've seen, especially here in Sacramento, which has a very high concentration of nonprofits because we are the capital of California. I can't tell you how many times I've seen nonprofits have an amazing cause, but their brand just does not match their cause. And it could be low quality, which is understandable because a lot of nonprofits, when they first start out, they don't have much of a budget. Or it could just not match their cause. So the brand could be gorgeous, but it just doesn't match their cause. So you need to make sure that the messaging is on point. Simple is always better. Canva, which I'm using for this presentation right now, offers so many ready-to-use branding resources for low-budget nonprofits and for-profit companies. Less is better. If your nonprofit logo has less in the design, the better it will represent itself on hats, business cards, the website. The more complicated it is, the more like a drawing it is, the less it will appeal to people, and it won't easily be able to be seen on other mediums. Also, there needs to be a very clear message. So for-profit companies have slogans. Nonprofits should as well, and it should be part of their elevator pitch. If you can distill down into one sentence what your nonprofit does, that's going to help your marketing, because it'll give people a very clear idea on what it is that you do, and either it will resonate with them or it won't. And that's exactly what you want. The worst place to be is when someone is giving you a maybe. You want a clear yes or a clear no right away. Relevant and engaging social media presence. a lot of nonprofits do a great job of documenting their causes and like their events. I feel like some nonprofits make the mistake of always asking on social media. So if you are always asking, or in the case of B2B marketing, always selling, that's not a very appealing feed or messaging. People don't want to be sold all the time. So keep your social media presence engaging through showcasing the events that you have going on, the team, individuals that you've helped, patting donors on the back for just doing a great job of fundraising or of donating in the last year. Thought leadership is also could also be rolled into there. So thought leadership is what I'm doing right now. I am giving my thoughts as an experienced marketer, and people are watching and they're listening, and they can do what they want with the information. But nonprofits, I think, have a lot to offer in terms of free resources that they could be giving to individuals or to communities through social media, through their website, through a free newsletter. It could be health resources, like on how to eat healthy or where to shop to get healthy food, or discounted services for like psychotherapy. Nonprofits do so much more. They have so much knowledge than I guess what I'm trying to say is nonprofits, they clearly have a cause that they're trying to accomplish, but they also have a lot of free information they could be giving to people, and they could be using that to leverage themselves as the experts in their field, which elevates their brand and how people see them, which causes people to be gravitated or to be attracted and gravitate towards you as a nonprofit. And then that way you get more donors, you get more volunteers, and people want to be around experts. It makes them feel comfortable, it makes them feel good. The last thing is just an easy to use website. Nonprofits have a special use case, I guess, for websites. For-profit companies, basically, they make the website for one person, and that is the person that they would like to sell to. Nonprofits, they need to sell to donors to get them to donate money, but they also need to be there as a resource for the people or causes that they're trying to help. So if you can make your website as easy to use as possible, that will go such a long way. Donate button right at the top of the screen. Sign up to be a volunteer right at the top of the screen. Learn about our program or programs or our nonprofit right at the top of the screen. Trying to make it very easy for people who land on your website to take the action that they want to take. All right, next one is social proof. So getting reviews on relevant platforms. So that could be on Google. So nonprofits, they need to be ranking on Google, because sometimes, depending on the nonprofit, they could get a lot of organic traffic just off of web searches. So the more people that they can get to leave a 5-star review on Google, the better it will help their SEO. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, how does someone leave a review for a nonprofit? That doesn't make sense. The people that they impact could definitely be leaving a review, and that would be great. That would be great social proof. It could also be donors. Donors can give a 5-star review to a nonprofit and just say, hey, like, I've been donating to this nonprofit for 7 years and I love what they do, and I feel like they're good stewards of the money that I give. Those reviews go a long way in proving that you are a legit organization and that you are going to do right by the people that you serve. You can once those are on different platforms, you can actually put those on your website and have social proof on your website that way. Don't just put reviews on websites. Make sure that they are on one platform, whether it's like a third-party nonprofit like validation company, where like there's a couple of other nonprofits out there that basically legitimize other nonprofits. You can have people leave reviews there if that's helpful for you, and that may be helpful, especially if you're going after a lot of grants. But for a lot of local nonprofits, Facebook or Meta and Google are great areas to leave reviews. Videos of people singing your praises is also a great way to provide social proof. Those can live on your website. They can be on social media. You basically want to have these two pieces of social proof all over the place, so that anyone who lands in your ecosystem feels confident and comfortable that you are legitimate and that they can feel good giving you time or money. All right, a clear message on how the target client will benefit from working with you. So again, from the top of this webinar, a succinct slogan. It needs to be one sentence. It's hard. I know that it's really difficult, but if you put in the time to come up with a one sentence pitch, it's gonna go so far. Not even just on your website, but when you go to events. I was just at an event last night and there was over, I think, 15 nonprofits there. And if you can get up in front of a crowd and say, this is my nonprofit and this is who we serve and this is what we do in one sentence, that is so impactful. People will not forget that for two reasons. One is it's enough information for people to remember, and then you will impress them and they'll think that you're even better because you were able to distill down in one sentence what you do. And that shows a lot of intelligence and hard work. The messaging on your website of who your target client is. So again, we're talking B2B marketing, but now we're translating it to nonprofit. So a nonprofit client is a volunteer, a donor, or a person that they want to serve. So you should have clear examples on the website of what those look like. Be very upfront with your expectations. It's better to have a volunteer that can meet you exactly where you need to be met than someone who comes and just creates more work for you. Same with donors. If you are looking for a specific dollar amount, be clear about that, what your goal is. Videos of clients talking about how great it was working with you. Again, that's B2B marketing, but it's the same for nonprofits. Who are the clients? Volunteers, donors, and the people that the nonprofit serves. So if you can have videos of people talking about how great it is to work with you or to be a donor, or the experience that they had in working with you through your mission, that goes so far. They don't need to be professionally shot. They can just be shot on an iPhone, uploaded to YouTube, embedded into the website, shared on social media, put in a newsletter. Video is king, and it tells people exactly from someone else, not you, which is important because then that person vouches for you, what it's like to do business with you. And then case studies showing past success. A lot of clients that we work with on the B2B marketing side, we work with them on creating case studies. So basically, they're written for SEO, but they're also written for proof that, like, we do what we say we're going to do. And here's an example. And it's a detailed report of from start to finish, how everything worked, what was the success, what were some of the challenges, how they were overcome. Every nonprofit should have the same exact thing. And it should relate to their volunteer program, their donor program, and then their programs to serve the people that they are trying to serve. Timely client success management. I can't tell you how many times a business will land a new client and then wait weeks to actually reach back out to them to get things going. The most important time after you land a new client to reassure them that they made the right decision is within 24 to 48 hours. There should be a welcome email. It could be a video, could be a phone call, could be a Google Meet. But clients need to feel like they made the right decision and feel good about what they just signed up for. Volunteers are no different. If they come to an orientation, there should be a communication that goes out that says, "Hey, it was great to see you. Thank you for coming. We're excited for you to join. Please select, from these dates or whatever you need them to do." Or a personal message or a personal phone call from someone on your team. Same for donors. Donors want to feel good about what they did. So if you can send them a thank you that says, "Thank you so much for your donation. We really appreciate it." That goes a long ways for them to come back and be a donor again. Same thing for the people that you serve. If your cause is foster youth, those kids should be talked to right away. Like, they are in the program and they get a phone call from someone from your organization or a potential foster family, just welcoming them to the organization, just putting them at ease that they're in the right place. All right, last one, expansive partner network. So referrals make the best clients. They're the easiest ones to close, and they are the longest lasting. The same thing works for nonprofits, but it's a little bit different. So a referral or expansive partner network for a nonprofit would be nonprofits that could share similar volunteers. So there are some people that have a very open schedule and they are able to volunteer a lot. And some nonprofits might have too many volunteers. And now some of you guys watching this might be laughing. But I have worked with nonprofits where they have a lot of volunteers, but they only have so many time slots available for those volunteers. And so it's been really cool to see nonprofits work together and say, hey, like, say it's a local animal shelter for cats and dogs. Well, let's say there's a farm animal sanctuary in the same town. If the dog and cat shelter have too many volunteers for this one specific job, they could send them over to the dog and cat rescue. I'm sorry, to the farm animal sanctuary, and vice versa. It also shows unity. So if nonprofits are seen as working together, it makes both nonprofits seem much more approachable and friendly in the eyes of the community. So one good relationship could be like a meal program for families and affordable housing. That's a great relationship for them to establish together. They can work together to serve the same demographic. I know nonprofits get very protective over their donors. And I'm not suggesting that donors should be shared. But I am thinking that there are definitely economies of scale. So like one organization here in Sacramento is called SVP, Sacramento Venture Partners. And they put on events for a bunch of nonprofits to come together at one location so that they can be exposed to the community at large. It's a great way for nonprofits to get together. I'm not saying to throw a fundraiser together and have people like split the profits, but it would be really cool to have nonprofits come together and have it be like get to know your nonprofit day, where they split the cost of a venue and food, and it's a chance for them to get in front of hopefully different people. And then the last one, create partnerships that are a value add to the client. Again, that was more to my first point about getting affordable housing and like meal programs together. I know that there are a couple nonprofits here in Sacramento that revolve around sports for youth, and how cool would it be to have like a sport day where a couple of nonprofits get together and kids get to go around and play different sports. It exposes all the nonprofits to communities that they may not have been able to get in front of before. All right. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you basically can see how B2B marketing, if you look at good B2B marketing, it is very similar to the nonprofit marketing that should be made by a lot of the nonprofits. I know that there's lots of grants that are applied for. A lot of these can help your nonprofit get the grants that they need. Having those strong partnerships, having that clear brand messaging, having that reputation goes a long way in grant maker eyes. If you want to follow along, you can scan that QR code in the top corner for my LinkedIn page to find out when we are going to have the next webinar. They are every Thursday, but you can follow along and get more information as we expand this. The webinar is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to be doing a lot of different value adds for anyone that follows along to help you with your marketing, with your ADA compliance, which is changing every single day. And also, if you wanted to join our email list, you can also scan that QR code and join our email list. It's once a month. We don't spam emails, but it's just another value add if you want to stay up to date with current marketing trends. I hope you guys have